All right, episode 3. So we got here today, Vaughn.
Nice to meet you.
Tell them a little bit about yourself. So.
All right. So my name is Vaughn. Well, Vaughn, but I go by Vaughn. So I'm in the trucking industry right now. I'm local, not over the road. Pretty much, I haul tanks pretty much back and forth wherever they need them to go to get loaded or cleaned. Or I take dirties down, pretty much. Just rotation, pretty much. A little bit more about myself. I'm from Cincinnati. Just turned 29 in September. Virgo. But yeah, man. I got 3 kids, by the way. Soon, I'm looking to marry my woman. At the moment, just not yet, but I'll be getting there soon.
That's solid. How old are the kids?
So I have an 11-year-old. Well, I'm sorry, I have a 12-year-old. 12-year-old now. I have a 12-year-old. I have a 6-year-old, and I have a 2-year-old.
Okay.
Three in February.
At least you put a little space in between your kids. I'm be 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. So that's good. That's good.
Appreciate
That's
you,
good.
man.
That's good. So as y'all know, I am at the Real Papa Luke on all social medias. Today I wanted to bring Vaughn on and get his perspective, and we talk about getting a trade and how it can be life-changing to some people. So I want to start off by what intrigued you in trucking?
My honest answer was the money. So
That's a good answer to me.
That's
a good
my honest answer was
Me
the
too.
money. I mean, like, hey, the money was talking. I'm like, all right, bet I'm getting, not to knock the 18 and 19 an hour, because hey, I still get down with whatever job that pays. I can't knock any
That's
hustle.
a factory setting.
But yeah, most definitely the money for sure. That was the biggest. What I was looking to upgrade my life, and sometimes too, though, also like just cause the money's there, it don't mean that, mentally, while having the money, don't mean that you can be financially stable. Cause a lot of people live beyond their means all the time, and shit, having the money, yes, it's cool as long as you spend it wisely.
Facts. So when you got into your trade, I drive trucks as well, as y'all know. Outside of my content and things like that, I haul food. I'm touch free. Changed my life. I went into it at 250 pounds because I was hauling fuel before for 3 months. Went into touch freight. I lost about 50 pounds in like 4 months. I rarely use my inhaler, maybe like once a year or once every year and a half. I used to use
awesome,
it.
man.
I used to use it super frequently, but I think some people, they have a blessing, but it'd be a little hard. And that's what I learned about trucking. And my current, employer is that you might not like something at first, but it's good for you. Because I ain't gonna lie, my first week at the job, I had another interview the week before, and like they was only trying to give me like 23 an hour.
Oh.
So I'm literally in between routes on the phone with them, like, can y'all offer me a little more? I don't want to do it.
I don't know, like,
This touch freight, it was hard, but it was something that I wasn't used to, and it's real like hard. Anybody that do touch freight in the food industry, they know. We ain't just dropping like full pallets like some people. We actually getting out and delivering anywhere from 700 to 1,000 cases every time we go out and do a route.
and if you touching them, you most definitely gonna be touching them same boxes, if not a good 2-3 times.
And sometimes it be like 2.5 pound crackers.
So it's not like
Sometimes it be 100-pound pork shoulder. So it's like, and sometimes it's 6 on your thing. So you running down the ramp, Speedy Gonzalez with 800 pounds of food on you. So you just get used to moving in this actual like
it's fast paced.
Fast paced. So when you got into trucking, how long did it take you to get from start to finish? From when you went to your first day of class, how long did it take you to obtain your license?
Okay, so I want to say I got my license back in April. I got my license back in April of 2023. I started my class, I want to say, like the middle of February. So like the middle of February. And it wasn't bad. I want to say more so. The longest was just getting my license to, after you go through the whole process, taking the courses online and passing them and getting your endorsements. Once that really took effect, it was just the waiting process of them sending your actual ID card with your it has
updated.
Yeah,
Updated endorsements.
updated endorsements. Yeah, so that's pretty much what took the longest. But more so, it was the outdoors, working around and learning, or just around the tractor and the trailer, just pinpointing different objects, different I want to say different parts on the vehicle and the trailer, just knowing what could go wrong, and if it was to go wrong, just to be able to pinpoint and look like, okay, this is not right. Maybe I shouldn't take this on the road. So.
Absolutely. So you say like from start to finish, like 3 months?
Yeah, roughly
3 months.
Sorry if I got off topic.
No, you good. You good.
Yeah, 3
You
months.
good.
Yeah.
So I would say that it took me around the same time too, between classes, and then after my classes was over, it was like my test was like 4 weeks out after I got done with my classes. So I was still coming back, going to the yard, practicing until I went all the way up to my test. And I only asked that because we focusing on how a trade can change your life, and so I'm gonna be a little vulnerable with y'all as far as like putting y'all in my business. So my first year out in trucking, I made close to $60,000 a year. So a lot of people that come out with a 4-year degree, I don't know exactly, but I'm a guesstimate they spend at least $50,000 on that degree. That's at least between student loans, and these are federal student loans. They're saying local community loans, or local credit union loans, things like that, maybe low interest rates. These are federal loans. They could come and take your wages. They can garnish your wages.
Yeah.
They can, it's a whole lot. So, and a lot of people are signing up for these when they're 18, 17 years old sometimes and don't know a lot about it. So we just trying to spread awareness to it's okay to come out and get a trade. And it don't got to be trucking. It could be HVAC. It could be
dispatch.
Anything, because a lot of these trades, even like automotive. Sometimes automotive, you can go get your automotive, and get certified. Maybe within 6 months to a year. I'm not 100% sure, but it's other options out there for you outside of college. And we're not saying don't go to college, but it's other things that you can do and still support your family. So before you started trucking, what was you doing?
So before I started trucking, I was actually in the warehouse behind a forklift. I was in the warehouse, freezer, matter of fact, I want to say. I was pulling orders, and I actually was making pretty decent money, actually.
What's decent?
Let's say about around that time. This is back in 2018. 2018, I was making about maybe 20, about almost 25 at the time.
That's good money.
So yeah,
That's cool.
That's money that I ain't never touched before. So
yeah.
I was on the brink. I was about like 24, 80 something, 85. So I was about almost 25.
Yeah, okay.
But
you got a new car when you got a new?
Hell yeah. I still did. But the first thing but it wasn't new though. I got it used, but I did buy me a bike.
Okay.
I did buy me a bike.
Okay.
And man, it was them days. But I don't knock it, and I would still go back to it if it was the case, honestly, because I know now they are paying a little bit more now.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But see, even with that, you got to have, like you said, forklift.
Yeah, forklift.
Yeah, you got to get certified in forklift,
Exactly.
don't you?
Oh yeah, most definitely.
And it might not take long, like CDL school or something like that, but you got to get certified in it, so you got to receive
about
certification.
About a good week, maybe if not a couple weeks, the longest, but roughly.
Yeah. So it's you still were making money and you were able to support your family, and it's just something that personally has changed my life. But like you saying, another thing I want to spread awareness on is when you do start making the trade money, you don't necessarily got to switch up your lifestyle, because I lived in a 1-bedroom for like my first 2.5 years of trucking. In my house. I'm in the house now. I'm renting the house now. But as y'all can see, appreciate you. But as y'all can see, I was saving my money for a while, living in that one bedroom with me and my daughter. And, I finally was like, okay, we need more space. She getting on my damn nerves. And so we moved out and we went on, a different endeavor. And it's okay to spend that. But, coming out of some kind of trade or just making more money in any field that you decide to indulge into, it's okay to not immediately upgrade your lifestyle, because I won't say it could be detrimental, but a lot of people, they try to cut back on lunch every week or this and that, but the big bills is what's hitting them the most. That car note, that mortgage, that life insurance. I'm not saying life insurance isn't needed, but like just bigger bills in the grand scheme of things. Like my electric bill in this house is way different than my electric bill in my one bedroom.
For sure.
So it's different things like that. I want to talk about being a parent and picking up a trade. So, what are one of the ways that trucking has positively affected your relationship with your kids, and your woman?
I want to say it gave me more opportunity to be able to do the things that I couldn't do before I started working at, or I should say before I took the trade of getting my license to become a CDL, a professional CDL driver. Was able to take care of my kids a little bit more, be able to do more things with them, be able to put more money back when need be, being able to help out moms if I needed to or if she ever needed to, and hey, it could be anything, and if I was able to, whenever I had it and whenever, and I was able to get my things taken care of, it was a blessing because I still had money left over, and most of the time either I saved it or I helped out a family member, and it was more so my immediate family, my brothers, sisters, moms. So
okay. So it's positively affected me. Same thing, honestly. Just more freedom. I'm a super spiritual conscious guy, but understand I'm in the world, not of it. So when you're in this world, you better have some bread. You better, and it ain't got to be no crazy buku amount of money, because when I say I'm rich, it's not always in terms of money. I'm rich in love, I'm rich in support, I'm rich in family, I'm rich in culture. I'm rich all the way around the board.
Amen.
And sometimes people don't realize like the stressors of not being financially stable. Like people be thinking they depressed. No, you just got to get some more money. Or I'm angry. No, you just got to get a little more money. And that's just the big kicker to it, is it's okay to be in this world and understand that I want to flourish. And it's okay to flourish financially. And that's what the trade has done for me. And if y'all think I was going to be able to sit here and invest almost $1,300 between this camera, these mics, this light behind y'all, without my trade, it's just not feasible. It's not feasible. So let's talk about the negatives. I'm not a negative person, but let's talk about a way, because we want to give people all angles and perspectives of it. So when you picked up your trade, what was a negative effect that you got?
It's a good question. Good question. I want to say negative things about. I want to say more so people can give you false advice. Definitely false advice about.
Snap, nigga.
Man, for real.
They really do.
Like, and with you being new into the field, I should say, man, with it being so long, trying my best here with you guys to remember some of the bad things that I had to overcome, or I should say I had to endure and and still give good customer service despite what could be going on around. Because you could deal with multiple things at a time while trucking and not even know it. And with that being said, people give bad advice. about the job, especially if they've been in it for too long or they're tired of it. Some people have a negative way of putting their negative thoughts or their negative opinions on you. Like, you can't put your opinions on me, like I'm me, you know.
Right.
So, but I understand, you know, take that in consideration. But I appreciate it, you know.
Yeah, that's a big one. A lot of people, and negatives can come from like a good source. And I think, you know, trucking has taught me a lot of patience because.
Clock.
Wow.
Patience right there, because that's maybe right behind.
It changed. It changed everything, even including like my meditations. It's like I understand that some of these people, you know, they not flicking me off. They really had a bad day, and so I'm gonna give you grace, because when I was in that predicament, I expected the same. So I don't want to act no different. Like, okay, I was making 28,000 last year, now I'm making 70, and now I'm making 80. It's like I understand that those are the reasons why I'm probably in a better mood, because I ain't tweaking about my tire,
Right.
or I ain't tweaking about, you know, having to, you know, like you know, quiet as kept, you know, I had to get my window fixed because it got broken into downtown Cincinnati, and it was $800, and it was so many people around me that they were a little, and I was a little frustrated at first, but I immediately, before I even got home, I had my Safe Flight appointment scheduled. And the old me would have been a little bit upset, because where am I going to come up with $800 out the blue? Right. So that's what my trade has done for me too. It's like some of those, like you said, you're not depressed or you're not stressed. Some of those are real financial issues. And I honestly don't have a lot of problems that money couldn't fix. So when people come and say, you know, money brings problems, or it's the root of all evil and things like that, that shit sound good, but it's something that we all need. And that's why I be trying to convey to, you know, my nephews and people around me, or just general in knowledge, is that it's okay to get a trade, because that financial freedom might be the burden that's lifting off of you.
Exactly. And most of the time, 9 out of 10, it most likely is sometimes. Just because, I mean, everybody's situation is different. And like I said, trucking is a good industry to get into. It does, like I said, any job is going to come with its pros and cons. Like, it's a given. Just based off how you handle it, how you go about it. Definitely gotta choose the right job, but coming into the truck industry, you're not gonna know.
Yeah.
Like, you could basically go based off of who's giving you the best sale pitch, pretty much, and what you're interested in. 'Cause some companies don't stick to their word. You gotta clock it again.
I love that. Hey, I love this clock. Yeah, they don't.
You know,
so those recruiters that come in, some line connivers,
sell you the best pitch. Oh yeah, we'll take care of you. Take good care of you.
Then they get you in the door. So that's what, when you said you got to pay attention to who you know they keep taking advice from. That resonated so well, especially in the trucking industry. And anybody that drive trucks know, yeah, they do, you know, it's just a bunch of BS most of the times. And that's why I tell people, when you get to somewhere, feel it out for a while. So many people, they get into a industry or a spot or a job or even a relationship with another person, and that's people don't realize how certain shit in life transfers over. It's like patience. Like I hated my job first couple of months. I'm out of breath. You talking to a man that was 6'2", 250 pounds. I'm talking about, I'm out of breath going upstairs, let alone going up and down the ramp all day. Literally taking 60,000 steps a week on a 4-day route. But a lot of people, they won't stick with something long enough to see the positive results. So that was one of the negative effects. A negative turned into a positive. It's like, I'm out of breath. I ain't never got no energy. But now it's like, that workload I got is giving me the energy that I give. I make better decisions now. I can't eat super heavy because I'll be sluggish and I won't be able to do my job. I'll be able to do my job. I'd rather do the route in 8 hours than 11. So,
amen to that.
Yeah.
And also another negative thing, and I definitely can agree with you about so far as like the patience and learning and trying to get adjusted, without overthinking or over jumping the gun and be like, I just because respect not honestly, I did just about almost a year at the job that you are at now, and I want to say it took a while for me to adjust to it, and like I just like I said, some jobs aren't meant for people, and some jobs are, and sometimes it's not that you can't do the job because I did the job well, and it was nothing like seriously bad about it. It was just more of a personal of why I couldn't no longer do the job anymore. But would I go back? I most definitely would go back, and definitely good for the exercise. And right now in my life now, I feel like I'm in the best shape of my life, honestly, and I was then too. It was just finding time to be able to what I'm gonna say to take care of myself physically and mentally, more so physically if anything, but it definitely weighed down on me mentally just because I was adjusting to it. I was patient, but I wasn't patient long enough, and I feel like I felt that what I did was like, all right, was the best for me, and I don't regret it. If I would go back if I wanted to, honestly, and I still can, but I said some jobs is meant for some people and some is not meant for everybody, and you just gotta know and when to pick which job is best for you, because you can easily get to somewhere and like dislike it immediately and have to put up with it for a while just because you gotta think about it too also. Like you don't want to have on your resume different jobs and just hop in. It's just not gonna look good on you. So
it don't look right. It don't look bad. But it don't look good. And so consistency, and I think that's another thing that not even just this generation, our generation, but a lot of people in general, they lack. And you gotta persevere. Like when I was going through trucking school, I get my hair cut every Friday. I wasn't able to get my hair cut. I'm talking about trapping out the bando. You hear me? I'm talking about noodles.
Hey.
Noodles and bottled waters for a while, you know what I mean? And I wouldn't, I still ate out a little bit like McDonald's and shit like that, but, it was a point in time where I had to really stay down. And that was just literally 3 months. And those 3 months changed my life. And so some people, even outside of getting a trade, some of y'all might want to go to nursing school. It's going to take 2 years. You might not be able to go outside for 2 years. You might not be able to kick it with your friends and party with your friend for 2 years because you got to work and go to nursing school. And nursing school in general is a heavy workload. Or like even with trucking, my classes, if you don't take weekend classes, my class was from like 7:30 in the morning. Was it 7:30 or 6? It was early, 7:30 to like 4:30 in the afternoon. So it was a shift and then some. And I think a lot of people got to realize as well when you jumping into something, whether it be a trade or a career, you gonna have to have some kind of sacrifice. And my sacrifice came in the form of sometimes friends, sometimes relationships. Sometimes the biggest one is habits. Like what? Like even most recently having to switch up a couple of weeks ago, like I stopped drinking because now I do third shift twice a week. I work work through the night twice a week. So it's like that, your Friday gonna spill into your Saturday gonna spill. So I'm drinking heavy. I'm getting off on most Fridays and like, man, I've been at work all week. I deserve a drink. I deserve some rest. I'm about to go home and I'm gonna get some rest. I'm not missing nothing.
Between which one, like, all right, which one is better for me? Which one I know I need to do?
Yeah. And you want to make that decision because you feel like you want to give yourself a reward, but you don't understand. Like that reward for me last night, I went to bed before 9. I got up at 5. I hit the gym, ate something, went to go watch the sunrise, and that's my life now, and I'm okay with that. And I understand that that's the thing that's going to attract the people or the relationships or the habits in my life that I need. So that's another thing that my trade ultimately like it's grown. It's grown as hell around here. I can't really do a whole lot of like, I'm not. I don't want to feel like I'm badgering anybody, but boy, shit, cause yeah, it's getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning for work, getting up at 11 o'clock at night for work.
It's not easy.
That's grown as hell, and so it's like you can't do certain stuff. You can't kick it with your boys all night playing up on 2K. You can't drink all times and nights because it's gonna start to affect your sleep, and even outside of trucking while sleepy is dangerous. You might be a welder. You might be in some kind of like it's dangerous in general to not get the adequate amount of rest. But in most blue collar type of situations, it could be detrimental. So yeah, tell me about a situation where you realize that I got a situation too, but I'm gonna let you say if you got a story where you realize like I can't keep doing what I was doing and prevail in my new line of work.
That's a good question, man. I want to say smoking, drinking too for sure.
Yeah.
But smoking, like,
drug to A.
Gotta cut it, cause no matter what it is, no matter what they say about it's legalized or whatever they say.
Not on DOT.
Yeah. Not for everybody, and we are not everybody. Like a whiff of that shit, boy, instantly. All right, yeah.
Let's get you up to truck.
Yeah, let's. We have something else for you, man. Before you go out, you mind staying back a bit? Get hit with questions like that or just uncertainty from your boss. Yeah, it's like, all right, yeah, like it's just things that you got to get rid of, especially and more so it's healthy for you. I mean, cause honestly, like I know people that can do both, but they don't have the same job. They're not in the same job field that I am.
Yeah.
But at the same time, too, it takes you off focus. It relaxes you. You definitely don't want to be comfortable in that truck at all. And that's one of the biggest things that I was told when I got into trucking. I came from Napier. I didn't mention that, but I came from Napier. And mostly all of my drivers, trainers, pretty much just told me, do not ever get comfortable. I don't care how long you've been driving. Don't ever get comfortable behind the wheel, because the moment you get comfortable and get too sure of yourself, problems can start happening. Bad habits can start picking up. You might not realize it. You can have somebody that ride with you that's been driving for a long time that's probably stays on the same the same routine every time, and that's how they've been making a living with it. And a lot of people come up with bad habits just like how we do on a day-to-day basis driving our car. It's the same thing, just different. And it's more dangerous and deadly, especially when we get in front of people or you behind people. And it's more so the people that's either on the side of us or on our passenger side. Because the passenger side of the semi is one of the most deadliest zones that you could be in if they can't see it.
Because, I stopped smoking a year before I actually did my classes. Because it was a young lady, shout out Kyla. I used to bartend with her, and she was in the nightlife with me. I think she was serving or bartending, if I'm not mistaken. But she did dispatching as well, and she got me interested in trucking. She was like, you should go get your CDLs. And so she planted the seed, but I watered it. And I woke up one day and was like, you know what? I'm not about to be smoking no more. Because, and I feel like a year after that is when I actually got accepted. But because I was hesitant because I couldn't pay for it. So she told me, oh no, you ain't got to pay for it. It's a program that's going to pay for it for you. And I'm like, for real? So I ended up, get accepted into the program, and it just so happened that I was bartending, so I didn't have a lot of on paper income that I had to report. So it all worked out for me. And I just realized certain habits I have to let go because they no longer serve me. So I stopped smoking. It'll be 5 years, January 2nd. to be fact, because I had a little, you know, woo, woo, woo. My best friend, her birthday was January 1st. I said, you know, then I'm done. And then I think, I want to say March after that, so not 2 months, but like 13 months after that is when I finally started school and, you know, things like that. But I knew that wasn't going to be able to serve nothing in my life. And it's crazy because even like 2 years after, when I, you know, finally got my drug test, I still was a little nervous. Like, dang.
I feel like any drug test is a little like, oh my.
And I don't, cause you know, cause sometimes I still, if I was at a club or something like that, they could still smoke
alcohol or anything.
Yeah, it's
or
like
you around it.
You around it. Like, did I whiff it in?
Yeah, and I'm like, oh man, like I know last week I was with a dude, man, and we was over here really turned. I wasn't in it, but I was around.
But I was around it, so it's like, dang. But now I go in there with my head held high, like, yeah, I'm good. I ain't. They could take a follicle from me and I pass that test.
Ooh, even that right there, I used to be so nervous because even a hair follicle, I'm like, man, what if that joint's still on?
Yeah,
you smoke. You feel me?
Just being around certain type folks, and when I finally realized my like epiphany when it came to it, because I had started the job I'm at now, and you know, got to be at work at 4 in the morning, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna just go out and have a drink, and I'm gonna leave at 10. I'm gonna go home, get 5 hours of sleep. I'm good, because I was just training, so I wasn't doing a whole lot of driving. And then he was like, I get there, he's like, oh, you get to drive today. I'm like, God, you know, I'm leaving the bar and had a couple of drinks.
Yeah.
But it affected my sleep. I got sleep. I got 5-6 hours of sleep, which is not good, but in some senses it's adequate. It's not, you know, going all night, staying up all night. You know, it was cool. But I realized how liquor affected my quality of sleep. And I ended up having to tell my trainer that day, like, you know what? I won't be able to drive, but I can sure help you with all these deliveries. And that's when he was letting me know, you know, older white guy, he was letting me know, I'm going to just keep it real with you. You can't, you know, and he didn't give me that like Uncle Phil speech, but he did at the same time. He like, you can't keep living a certain lifestyle when you're doing this kind of job because it's dangerous. And he said, I'm glad you are vocal enough to tell me, because some people won't. They'll just get behind this wheel tired and have me in the passenger seat, and you know, meanwhile I'm over here kicking it, and next thing you know, you done nodded off and you swerved over, and you know, my kids are without a dad, maybe whatever car you kid there's without a, you know, a dad or a mom or a cousin or an uncle, and now you may be as well. So loss of life when you dealing with dangerous things when it comes to certain trades, like, and it ain't even necessarily, you know, that was my personal situation, but like doing the wrong thing, and you in the oil industry, or you welding and you got a hot gun, anything could happen, man. So you just really gotta, you know, that was my turning point for me. I'm like, you know what? If I gotta work the next day, I definitely cannot drink at all the day before. Because there's been times I done, you know, got up and like, oh, I'm going to have me a little...
Sluggish.
Sluggish as hell. And I'm going to have me a little mimosa at brunch.
Yeah.
Because I ain't got to be at work till 10 o'clock at night. I'm going to have me a little mimosa. It's like, no. I can't do it. I can't do it. And it's, you know, and I'm okay without it. So.
Amen.
Yeah.
Amen to that. Yeah. Respectfully, I was one of the ones that would say yes.
He said, nigga, I don't know what you talking about.
But nah,
I'm gonna have that drink.
Like, but I pay for it every time, man. Every time I pay for it. Like, and I just know now, like,
and people don't know, but sometimes you'll keep getting that lesson till you learn it. Sometimes you'll keep getting that lesson, and people be wondering, like, man, why I keep going through the same shit? Cause whatever you want to call it, God, universe, Yahweh, they love you. And so they want you to pass this lesson. But you ain't, you know, you steady. And pain don't last forever. That's why people get drunk every weekend.
Pain is temporary.
Pain, that's why they like, oh, this hangover crazy. I ain't never drinking like that again.
And it'll make you rethink.
Man, what? Never. Then they friend pop out like, you want to drink tonight?
Nah.
Oh, you said meet me down in Cinema? Okay. I ain't gonna have no drinks. I'm gonna just go there and chill. Next thing you know, you 7 shots of Don Julio in, and you know, you had a couple of shots of Casa Fricos, and you just, it's all bad for you, man. you just realize that certain habits, and I'm not saying you can't have a drink at all or enjoy yourself, but sometimes when a habit becomes to a certain extent, you have to sometimes step away from it. Like at a point in time, I at this current time, I'm not drinking, but at a current time, I stepped away from meat. I was vegetarian for like 8 months, and I came back to it with a way healthier relationship. I realized I don't gotta have meat with every meal I eat. I stepped away from liquor for like 9 months, and I came back to it and I realized, you know what? I don't have to, drink heavily because I was going out 2-3 times a week.
Liquor tastes different, didn't
Yeah, it was stronger.
it? Stronger.
I was like,
I can't maintain.
This ain't the same no more because I ain't gonna lie. Like 2 weeks ago, I went out and I had like 2-3 shots. Went to a little sipping paint with my homegirl KK, and we ended up at a spot after, and I look up, I'm like, man, I'm toe up, and I ain't had that many. I had
one,
maybe 2, 3, 4. Okay, I had 4. I'm lying. I had 4. I had 4 shots, but I woke up the next day, and this was 4 weeks ago. So prior to that. Because this will be my 3rd episode. I've been recording every Saturday, and that was the Saturday I was supposed to start my first episode. I woke up sluggish. I didn't get out the bed till like 1:00 in the afternoon, and I said, "That's no longer serving me." And I'm not gonna act like I had a drink last weekend, but you just sometimes, like you said, I ain't perfect. You got to keep learning that lesson, and so it's like. Last Saturday I had a drink, but I still was like, I don't care. You gonna wake up at 5 in the morning. I don't care what time. I got in at like 11. You gonna wake up. You gonna get up. I don't care what it is. But now I know, like, oh no, I don't want to be that tired no more. I'm going to bed at 9 o'clock tonight. I ain't got time. I ain't getting toe up at the club 1, 2 o'clock in the morning because it's not. It don't fit my routine or my schedule or my lifestyle no more.
And as you said before, it's learning how to get out of them bad habits. And doing bad habits, man, can either make you or break you. And I should say, I had my fair share. I mean, hey, I'm learning now. At this very moment, I'm still learning. But you won't learn until you learn that lesson, and that's for sure.
Big fact. Okay. Well, we had a real good episode today. But I do want to end on a couple of good notes. If you had 3 recommendations that you can give to a high school senior when it comes to either choosing college or choosing a trade, what would they be?
I would pretty much tell them wherever your heart pretty much lies on, like whatever you pretty much want to do with yourself, because everything is not meant for everybody, as I was saying before. And what you really want to do, like you could get into something and not love it, like you want to, and that's one thing I'm gonna definitely preach to my kids as they get older, is find something that you want to do and attack it and just stay on it. And I feel like you're gonna have probably multiple ideas of what you could do from a high school student to the age of 22. Like multiple ideas could be running through your head, but so far as me giving that advice, I would tell them most definitely go with your heart, pretty much. If that's what you want to get into trucking, okay, cool. I can give you some good tips and some good advice on what you could do when you get into trucking, and also be careful too and watch out. So far as college, I'm gonna always most definitely push you to go to college. That's hands down. I mean, without college or with college, I mean, there's knowledge everywhere, literally.
Absolutely.
But yeah, you can get more knowledge, because at college you can get more knowledge, but it's not always the case. I mean, you can always go to a trade school and pick up the same type of trade that you would go to college, and it might be a lot less, or the time might be cut down just because where you're going to. Other than that, I would just say go with your heart.
Go with your heart. I'm gonna say yes. 1, go with your heart. 2, give yourself space after high school. Because it was the way it was broken down to me is they got you raising your hand to ask to use the bathroom in May, and then got you selecting what you want to be for the rest of your life 3 months later in August. So it's not a really good transition into like adulthood. So give yourself space if need be. You don't have to go to school to school or trade. You can, get a gig.
I got clocked there. That was
Get a gig. You don't have to give yourself space after to figure out what you want to do. And I think that's a lot of things that's wrong with people nowadays. They just go with where everybody else is going. Oh, my friends is going to college, so I got to go. No, you don't. Give yourself space. Before you jump in and take out a $50,000 loan, figure out what you really want to do. And sometimes in life, that's just discovering yourself. Go get a job at White Castles. Like, don't ever be thinking that you behind the curve, because there's some people that's moving too fast and they crash. So go with your heart. Give yourself some space, and at the end of the day, do what works for you. Some people, trucking might not work for them. Some people, they want to go to school for business. Some people, they want to go to school for nursing. But do what works for you. And that's ultimately what this was about. So it ain't got to be trucking you get into. It ain't got to be welding. It ain't got to be HVAC. It ain't got to be nursing. It just give yourself space. And a lot of people, we turn into human doings instead of human beings. Step back sometime and sit in the corner silent for 30 minutes and just see what comes up to you. And before you start that, ask for a sign. Hey, I want to know what I should be doing next. And then just give yourself that room to do what you do, which is your intuition, and you're going to start to speak to yourself. But ultimately, yes, space, go with your heart, and do what's best for you. Find your own path, because they feeding people in the colleges, they feeding people in the trade schools, and sometimes they just not happy in what they doing, or they realize, oh, I did this for my mom, or I did this because this is what I was told to do. But ultimately, at the end of the day, you got to live the life you live. So the only person that should have, not only, but one of the biggest inputs in those decisions should be you, your intuition, and yourself.
And man, I might add to that too. Also, it can get very depending on if you're not an individual that relies on how I want to say it, that gotta go and get somebody else's opinion, advice, in order to for you to make a decision. Like sometimes it's best to sit by yourself and just gather your thoughts and take time and just kind of think to yourself like, what should I do? Because sometimes you can get mixed up and not really have it together mentally, or just thinking about it, not really having it together, and then like, you know what? Let me see if I'm wrong or if I'm right, or if I should take this step. Let me go get an opinion from somebody or a couple other people. And sometimes I do that, but honestly, I haven't done it in a while, and I'm not ashamed of it. I'm always up for asking for help, for sure. But I'm more reliant now on what I want, and more so to try to make the best decision, not just for myself, but for my family, because it's no longer me. I have to think of them first. So.
Yeah. Just listen to yourself. That's just the conclusion. Listen to yourself. When I say yourself, I mean yourself. I'm currently doing a Silent September, something that I came up with. I'm not listening to any self-help podcasts, any self-help books. If I'm reading something, it's fictional. I'm reading something called The Corner right now. Just listen to yourself. So, yeah. Thank you for coming on, Vaughn.
I appreciate you, man.
I had a conversation before this podcast, Vaughn. He was kind of nervous. He did good though. Y'all don't even be no. And I started this podcast in the sense of like I just want to get on here and talk to my friends like I do on the phone, and hopefully it affected a life or two in the process. So appreciate you, Vaughn.
I appreciate you for having me, man.
Thanks for coming on,
yes,
man.
Sir, man.
Until next time, this is how you feel and what is real, and we'll see y'all on the next episode.